I guess we are now officially back in public meeting. You'll notice that we no longer have the Zoom. So we had, I'll just run down, we had some discussion, we took care of some bank leave stuff, which was very necessary, and then we had several lawyers in the Zoom with us, and do you want to just go?
Sure. I am prepared to make a statement about the state of affairs as they stand at this minute with the Gunstock Area Commission. And I thank you all for staying on site to be recruited and hearing the truth about what is happening here and your commitment as employees to staying on the mountain and ensuring their continued success. The gravity and the enormity of the impending festival, coupled with the simple fact that every moment that Gunstock remains unstable, is an obvious blow to our local economy and a reflection on the integrity of the people entrusted to support this county asset and local treasure, as you know. I believe that today was a good day because today we are going to find out, and it is a good day, because we're going to find out the truth about what our state and local leadership, county partnerships, and advocates are really made of. Today at 12:08, former Commissioner Ness tendered his resignation. Commissioner Lambert and I do commend the former commissioner for his decision. Unfortunately, at 12:10, Commissioner Strang abruptly departed the meeting for the second time this week, once again neglecting his obligation to office despite our attempts to impress upon him the gravity of his recruitment in his own role as a commissioner. So at this point, this is our open call, our plea as commissioners. An open call on behalf of Commissioner Lambert and I to the members of the delegation to step up. This is the 11th hour for Gunstock. Today by 5 p.m. we will find out exactly who stands for Gunstock. Its residents, its taxpayers, our neighbors, our local schools, our kids that maybe wanted to ski for their last year in the Meister Cup. We're going to find out who stands with our local businesses and the businesses in this state. And we're going to find out who stands for our customers. Because today, contrary to the exact quotes by a certain commissioner, we are representing and standing for our people who are not a mob of rabble. Direct quotes, okay? So, instead of referring to the public as a mob of rabble, they're actually people that we vow to serve, okay? If the good people of Belknap County and the great state of New Hampshire have not heard your position on what you're willing to do by 5 p.m. today, I can no longer physically, emotionally, or spiritually remain complicit while these people remain complacent in protecting that treasure right there. And all of our livelihoods and the legacy that this mountain stands for. So once again, please stand with me in demanding the resignation of Commissioner David Strang today And every second that this community suffers due to his inept leadership, and so many other things. Until the ink dries from his resignation letter. Thank you.
So I would like to add, this will give you some background as to the request and to why we need this to happen. So let me first say that I was reading about Richard Nixon last night, and I read about how he had lost all trust, any and all public trust, and he was completely unable to perform his duties as president. And Barry Goldwater, a well-respected and fellow Republican, was instrumental in getting Richard Nixon to resign. And what we are asking for among members of the delegation, and perhaps some that aren't here, but some critical members, that you all become Barry Goldwaters, and you help us in this absolutely necessary task. We don't have days, we literally only have hours. And I'm serious, I'm deadly serious, and this was impressed upon the now former commissioner and the other one that needs to resign, and I'll tell you why. So I am in possession of signed documents from each and every one of the departed management team that have written to us and agreed the following. The members of the Gunstock senior management team who tendered their notice of resignation during the July 20th GAC meeting would be amenable to a reinstatement of their employment contingent upon the immediate removal of Peter Ness and David Strang from the Gunstock Area Commission. We have no further requests or demands other than the above mentioned. Upon removal of the above mentioned, we will create a chart listing any required certifications needed to operate GMR safely. And I have 3 in my hand, 2 came in on my email, but and they're signed by Tom Day, Kathy White, Rebecca LaPence, Robin Rowe, Peter Weber, and Patrick McGonigal. And I have had numerous conversations with Tom Day, who has been very gracious, and I appreciate his forthrightness and ability to engage in very good discussions. And he indicated to me very early this morning, I think I woke him up, I tend to text people early, that they basically be back here, I can't say a definitive time, but within days, okay? So if we can make this happen, if that guy Strang, the commissioner, excuse me, will do the right thing and resign, then I think that we will be many steps down the road to doing the things that we need to do to open this mountain. I dare say if he goes and this goes down, we could even have a chairlift, a zip line, a mountain coaster, and the aerial treetop adventure, of course, with the work of the people whose job it is here. But we could potentially have them operating for the Soul Fest Festival. Wow.
We need recruitment from those who have been silent or have not been blatantly forthcoming in their support of this situation. Doug and I have worked tirelessly, as all of you have, to see through what we can control, but we are only 2 people, and again, I cannot impress upon you the seriousness of the action and this must happen with every passing minute from now until
5 PM.
till 5 PM, and we so appreciate anyone who is willing to step up and to take a position in support of this mountain. But like I said, we will know just exactly who doesn't.
So let me further add that we have learned a whole lot about the operation of the mountain. And there's certainly a very important piece that's all deeply intertwined with the insurance and the safety operation, which we appreciate. We learned a lot of this through the staff and the employees. And I can say that a person on the outside looking in, you have no idea what the intricacy of this whole setup and arrangement. Okay, so there simply is, for those who think, that we'll just get new people in, no. I can't imagine how long it would take to put a new insurance program together. I would say months, probably. It's a system that has most likely been developed over the course of many years. And of course, it all is aimed at the paramount safety of employees, patrons, and all people who are here on the mountain.
I'll add that this is not a coffee shop, and I've said this several times in the past few days. We're not simply replacing a couple of staff people. This is specialized industry niche knowledge. Okay, so if you think that we're just gonna bring in a team of people who can just be plugged in, that is just not the case. And anybody who has any sense about the gravity of what is involved in working at this mountain would have a clue to that end. So with that,
One more thing, and I'm going to be very bold right here. If Mr. Strang does not resign, I would make it a fair bet that one could say forevermore that David Strang was responsible for the end of Gunstock Mountain. And I believe, based on my 8 days now of knowledge and learning and understanding, that it is critical that we get the senior management team here back now, okay? It has to happen. And if it does not happen, the villain will be forevermore Commissioner David Strang. I know it sounds harsh, very intense, and it pains me to say that about any fellow human, quite honestly, okay? But the gravity of this situation is such that that man needs to resign, and it needs to be publicly known and casted in stone somehow. He needs to resign before 5 p.m. today. I'm going to leave it at that. It's in the hands of the delegation now.
The insurance to the deadline, what's the deadline?
Yeah, that's right.
we
That's
cannot
not-
continue to have the full weight of managing a situation such as this without recruitment from, as I said, our community partners, including the county commissioners and anybody else in a position of leadership who should be here at least making a statement on behalf of this mountain. That's why the deadline, because every waking minute that we have had our eyes open have been in service to taking calls and supporting the staff and rallying for this mountain. And if we are standing in the way of somehow some other action being taken because we are playing the good cop constantly, frankly, we just can't take it anymore. I have twins due in 2 weeks, and I hate to call attention to that. It's not an excuse. I took an oath to be here, and I will probably be here quite quickly after. But we need the action of our community partners and the leadership who vowed to do so. That's why the deadline. It's a deadline that we just cannot.
It's just to be specific, it's not a specifically insurance company driven deadline, okay?
We just have to create an urgency for action
Right, but-
with a specific time because enough is enough.
It's a deadline for
We
us.
can't wait.
And quite frankly, there are other very impending things out there that I can't express enough the enormity of what we have to do, because honestly, if this doesn't happen and we can't get these people back here and plugged in, there isn't gonna be a gun stop. There isn't going to be a ski season this winter. And you can pin it all on Mr. Strang.
Should I
So,
take this call?
yes, please.
From Tom
Yes,
Day?
maybe you should just,
Can I? No. We'll
actually,
revisit
he may
that.
have called
Can
me.
you call for a delegation meeting, an emergency delegation meeting?
We will take public comment now if it is,
So, let me just say that we do want to hear from the public, but I don't know how to, Tom called me, call me, we're gonna step out and call Tom.
okay, so you'll have a point of personal
Recess?
order
You
for
want
a recess for 5 minutes,
Okay.
starting now.
So, and we'll be happy to take public comment and questions.
Representative Waters, you probably ought to get a few people going on
I requested about the shots of the public view and
We don't even know. You guys,
Cooked.